Have you ever asked an AI agent a complex or semi-complex question, and you got back a wall of ASCII tables and Markdown headers and bullet points and all that crammed into a terminal or an IDE, and then you look at it, you squint it, you scroll up and down, and you think, there must be a better way to see this. And there is, but it requires rethinking how we build UIs. Traditional interfaces are designed by humans for predictable data. AI, on the other hand, outputs are neither predictable nor structured the same way twice. So, how do we visualize something when we don't know what it is until the moment it appears? Today I will show you two approaches to solving this. One that ships rendering code from the server, and one that lets AI decide how data should be displayed. By the end, you will understand why the future of AIs might not be designed by us at all. Traditionally, we design user interfaces to be static visualizations with dynamic data. Think about Grafana, for example. The dashboards themselves are predefined. Someone decided what charts to show, where to place them, and how they connect to data sources. The data flowing through those dashboards changes constantly, but the structure never does. Here we can see Grafana dashboard showing Kubernetes cluster metrics, CPU utilization, memory usage, quotas per namespaces, and it's all laid out in panels that someone configured ahead of time. And that works, it does. Current UIs are great for watching and exploring, but only through predefined paths. Someone decided what users can see, how they will see it, and what actions are available. UI designers operate with a clear assumption. We know what you're looking for, and we know the data structure. We build static visualization structures for predefined data structures. But what happens when we don't know what the data structure is? What happens when we don't know what we will get? And that's where AI enters the scene. This time we talk to it and it responds in a way that we can digest that response. That's fundamentally different from everything we've been doing with UI so far. A user clicks a button and we know what will happen. A user fills in a form and we know what will happen. A user clicks a link and we know where it leads. With AI, none of that applies. Markdown got us to a point. It's better than plain text since LLMs can organize and format data with headers and tables and lists. Yet, it is arguably the simplest and most limiting format except for pure text. Now, not all agents are terminals. Some like Cursor and VS Code with Copilot are full graphical user interfaces. They could, in theory, render much richer visualizations than Markdown. But the question remains, who decides what to render and how do we do that? So, how do we visualize outputs from AI? We don't know what the user's intent is. We might, for example, have specialized agents for querying a cluster, for remediation, for creation of solutions. Yet we don't know what the user will type, what the intent is, and we don't know what the LLM will respond. Now, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to ask a coding agent a relatively complex question about all the resources running in a Kubernetes cluster, their purpose, and how they relate to each other. And then it is working and working and working, and eventually we got the output. Now, there's quite a lot of data there. We can see that AI did its best to represent it somehow through tables, text, bullets, and even ASCII diagrams. It's as if it's trying to tell us, give me a more visual environment than a terminal and I will give you better results. Some of that data would be much better represented in a graphical user interface than as a big markdown blob assembled by an LLM connected to a client agent. And here's the other thing. The next interaction, even with the same agent specialized in querying a cluster, will return potentially very different data represented in a potentially very different format. And all that within the limitations of Markdown. If we bring in other specialized agents for, let's say, remediations and recommendations and so on and so forth, the data and the format will differ even more. So, user inputs are unpredictable, and so are LLM outputs. The only way to visualize outputs from AI is to let AI visualize those outputs, or at least to be involved in the visualization. AI acts as a sort of an architect. It decides what the appropriate output is, not us. Now, we can nudge it in certain directions. We can constrain it to some degree. That's all true. There are many things we can do to come up with some semi-predictable outcomes, but semi-predictable is still not predictable. In traditional apps, most frontends have hard-coded layouts. Developers know what each page shows. A user page always renders a table. A dashboard always renders charts. A backend provides data. The frontend knows exactly what to do with it. But when you cannot predict the layout in advance, there are really only two options. Either the backend ships rendering code and the frontend just displays it, or the backend ships structured data with type hints and the frontend picks from its own component library to render it. Those are the two options. With AI, we are always in that I cannot predict type of situation. Every response is potentially different. So those are our two options. And that's exactly what the next two approaches represent. Since some level of uniformity, especially when it comes to design, is required, LLMs are not free to literally decide what a browser should render. That's what MCP Apps try to accomplish. And here's how MCP Apps work. A user types a request into a graphical user interface or a host, whether that's a browser, cursor, VS Code, or any other application that supports iFrames. That intent reaches the AI, which decides to call an MCP tool registered by an MCP server. The server has a UI resource associated with that tool, a full HTML page with JavaScript and CSS bundled into it. So it ships that HTML and JS and CSS bundle back to the graphical user interface, back to the host, which renders it inside the sandboxed iFrame. From there, the iFrame and the server communicate back and forth through messages, right? The app can call server tools, push data back to the AI, and even inject messages into the chat. It is designed to work with any agent and be rendered on any user interface. But here's the thing though. In MCP Apps, the AI doesn't actually generate the visualization. A server developer builds the full web app at development time. The AI merely decides when to show it and passes some arguments. The visualization code lives on the server side and gets shipped to the client as an HTML bundle. Now, that over there gives us unlimited rendering flexibility. Any web technology works. GUI-based agents like Cursor and VS Code can render these since they support iFrames. But the result is still a collection of independent mini web apps, each with its own look and feel, and all crammed into a chat panel. Every server author is building a separate mini web app, each looking and behaving differently. There is no guaranteed consistency across different tools. CLI agents like Cloud Code cannot render them at all, and running third-party HTML and JavaScript inside your application, even when sandboxed, is a fundamentally different security proposition than just parsing data. MCP apps optimize for universality. Any agent, any UI. That might be the best we can get given those constraints. That's probably the case, but I don't think the concept works well when we have specialized agents and want them to provide visualizations in a specific user interface. That was me complaining about MCP apps, right? Now, I feel that we need a different approach. What if, instead of shipping visualization code from the server, we keep the visualization code on the client side and let AI return only data? Now, let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to ask the exact same question, but this time through a web UI connected to the same agent. And then it works, and it works, and it works, and eventually we get the output. And look at that. We can see an architectural view rendered as an interactive diagram with collapsible sections. And then there are tables with data that is well represented in that format. And then there are some cards with info about important resources. And there are other visualization concepts all crammed into this web page. Now, I must apologize, My design skills are almost non-existent. I could not make it look good even if my life depended on it. So, I'm sorry for the aesthetic torture you've been subjected to. Still, it should be enough to demonstrate the point. So, how does this work? How did we get visualizations chosen by AI in this web page? The UI has a number of predefined visualization patterns like diagrams, tables, cards, code blocks, charts, and so on and so forth. It expects agents to pick any combination of those and provide only the data. That list of patterns can be extended to as many as we need. The point is that the visualization code lives in the UI, not in the agent. Now, AI could return visualization code as well. It could return JavaScript that collapses and expands diagram components, or CSS that styles tables, or HTML that lays out cards. But that's a design decision I'm trying to avoid really hard. That's what MCP Apps does. Instead, the agent was given instructions about what visualization patterns exist and the freedom to pick any combination of those depending on the data it gathered. It outputs data, not text. Not Markdown, not code, data. So here's the flow. A user types a query into the web UI. The UI sends that request to the LLM, to the agent, and then LLM. LLM reasons about what it needs and calls MCP tools like Cube Control and Vector Search and others to gather data, right? Once it has everything, the LLM decides which visualization patterns fit the data and returns structured data with type hints back to the web UI. From there on, UI takes that data and renders it using its own predefined components like diagrams, tables, cards, and whatever matches, right? So, the LLM decides what to show and how to show it, while the UI acts dumb and just displays what it was told to display. There is no logic in the UI. There is no intelligence. There are no predefined paths. There is only and exclusively data rendering. So, here's where we are. Traditional UIs break the moment AI enters the picture because they assume predictable data structures. MCP Apps tries to solve that by shipping rendering code from the server, but you end up with a patchwork or inconsistent mini apps. On the other hand, letting AI return structured data to a predefined component library keeps the UI consistent while giving the LLM full control over what gets displayed. This is coming, I'm sure of that. Apps will become more dynamic and partly, if not fully, controlled by LLMs and agents. That's coming. LLMs will be fully or partially deciding what to show us and how we will interact with it. Today, for example, agents already return structured data instead of text. Tomorrow, that data will not just carry information. It will carry the intent of how it should be visualized, how users should interact with it, and what the next step should be. We're moving from, hey, here's your answer, to, hey, here's your answer, here's how you should see it, and here's what you should do next. We will not keep making all the UI decisions in advance. Instead, LLMs will assemble how something should look like. They will decide which components to use, how to lay them out, what interactions users should be able to make, and what the next logical step is. A query about, let's say, cluster health might come back as a diagram with expandable nodes. A query about cost might come back as a chart with filters. The same agent, the same UI, but a completely different experience each time because the data demanded it. That's not a limitation. That's the whole point. And we can see that the industry is already moving in this direction. Google's A2UI, OpenAI's Open-JSON-UI, and Vercel's json-render are all converging on the same principle. Agents output declarative JSON describing what to display, and clients rendering using their own component libraries. None of them are production ready yet, at least not for specialized use cases, and the space is heavily fragmented. But the pattern? They all agree on it. Data-only output with type discrimination validates that this is where we are headed. Here's the thing though. With AI coding agents, building a custom solution like what I showed you today takes hours, not weeks. The cost of rolling your own component library is so low now that adopting an immature third-party spec with all its limitations and vendor risk is hard to justify, at least until a real standard emerges. What we saw today was DevOps AI Toolkit, the project I'm playing with. I tried to implement the principles we discussed to demonstrate what we can or what we should do. Fork it, start it, try it out, or just use it as a reference for building your own. If you do, it would mean a lot, really, to start it, do it. Every star and fork helps the project grow and keeps me motivated to keep pushing it forward. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.